very committed to staying healthy. For me, the working out on a daily basis isn't about building muscle or trying to become a bodybuilder or anything like that. For me, it's more about getting the flexibility and trying to be a little bit younger, find that fountain of youth. A couple years back, I was at my doctor's for my annual physical. My blood pressure was high, I was a little overweight, about 245 pounds, and the doctor says, hey, we got to do something here. If you don't make a life-changing or have a life-changing experience right now, we're going to have to put you on high blood pressure medicine, and you're going down a road that doesn't look healthy for you. So I made a choice to myself, and I wanted to do something different. And I heard a couple of my friends talking about CrossFit. And I saw about the commitment and everything that had to be made with it, the exercises and everything. And I was a little bit leery about giving it a try at first, especially because of my travel schedule. I live in Cleveland. I travel back and forth between Cleveland and Chicago teaching classes for my company UPS. It was a little difficult trying to get the schedule in there, finding a place where with my schedule on a daily basis that I can get out and work out in time. Lo and behold, I went online, looked up CrossFit in Chicago. O'Hare CrossFit popped up. One of my partners says they would go along with me, give it a try. We did the foundations class. It was a very grueling class. Angela took us through a heck of a routine. And I remember going home that week and walking down the stairs, and I couldn't walk down the stairs. And I said, what am I getting myself into? After a couple more foundations classes, passing that and getting into the regular classes, I started to notice a change in myself, my metabolism. And at that point, I was committed. I got 2-3 months into it, and I couldn't not go to class. It wasn't an excuse anymore. I had to be at O'Hare CrossFit. Not only for me personally, because I was starting to feel better and starting to lose the weight, starting to get a little bit stronger and more flexible, but because it became my second family away from home, because I have two grown children and my wife back at home, and they became my family away from home at O'Hare CrossFit. Always there to help, always there to direct me and give me the instructions I need to be more successful. And I started to grow from there in the fitness class.
Here I am at UPS, and I've been here for 29 years. And we work really hard here at UPS, and we work a lot of hours. So sometimes it's really hard to find the time to work out. And as I've gotten older, I used to work out pretty regularly when I was in my 20s and 30s. And then in my 40s, as my career started really taking off, I just found myself with less and less time to work out, working nights and crazy kind of hours. So in a matter of about 3 years, I packed on about 65 pounds. And I thought once I got back on days that would change and the weight would fall off. Well, it didn't, much to my surprise. And a couple years later, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. So my body was just in a lot of pain and didn't really know what it was. So obviously that was another excuse not to work out. And once I found out what it was, it took a while for the doctors to figure out what kind of medicine was going to be good for me, something that I wasn't going to react to because I'm not really good at taking medicine. And I found myself, getting close to 50 and still being very overweight. And I thought, well, let me get into some sort of workout. And I do have a lot of equipment at home. I've got a little area in my house that it's basically my mini gym.
As I got stronger and as I got a little bit more flexible, I started to notice some changes in my body, and I went to my next year's physical. My blood pressure had dropped. I had lost a significant amount of weight. In the 2 years that I have been at O'Hare CrossFit, I've lost approximately 30 pounds, and my blood pressure is pretty much in check now, just with the diet and just with the physical activity that I'm going through. A couple weeks ago, I made the change to go into the performance class and learn some Olympic lifting moves. I'm glad I did it. It's a new thing. It's even inspired me to try even harder. And then I noticed something else. I would go home on Thursday and I wouldn't do anything on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then I'd be back in the grind again at OCF. So I took a little bit of money, and I went to my next year's physical. My blood pressure had dropped. I had lost a significant amount of weight. In the 2 years that I have been at O'Hare CrossFit, I've lost approximately 30 pounds, and I my wife didn't know about. And I built myself a little garage gym where I could actually do the workouts that were online from O'Hare CrossFit at home and stay on task with the development that they put out each week. And with that being said, I got my kids into it a little bit. My wife uses the gym.
Last year in November, I guess it's going on 2 years now. It was November of 2014. I went to an intro class, and still wasn't really sure that that's what I wanted to do because I was still working a lot of hours, and I kind of hesitated to join. So finally, the new year rolled around, 2015. I got promoted. I found myself in a different position on days, and I thought, well, let me do this. I need to get back in shape. I need to lose some of this weight. And it was unbelievable because within a week or two of being at O'Hare CrossFit, I found that I was getting my flexibility back. I was starting to get some strength, and it came fairly quickly. I was really surprised, and I was really actually more surprised at how much of the flexibility I had lost. I didn't realize how stiff my body was. So I just kept going back, and at first it was hard to stick to the routine. It really was, because going through those workouts, they're so challenging. And I would just beat myself up verbally, just like, I can't believe you let yourself go. I can't believe you're not this strong. I mean, because I remember how I used to be when I used to work out. And I had lost all of that. So every time I walked in to work out, it was like survival for me, because it was just getting through the workout, just to get through the workout. And I just kept going back and going back. And now I just feel so good when I work out because I'm able to get through the workout. My strength has definitely increased, my flexibility, my endurance, and because I am limited because of the chronic illness that I do have, fitness group is good for me, and I just find that I have so much more energy now, and I love working out, and I love O'Hare Fitness or O'Hare CrossFit because the fitness there is just, it surpasses anywhere else that I've gone, because I worked with a lot of trainers in my 20s and 30s. But it doesn't even compare to what I get at O'Hare CrossFit, because all of the trainers, I mean everybody, I mean Becca, Angelo, Lucio, Zach, Corey, all of them, they pay so much attention to make sure that you are following and making sure that you have the good form, that you're not going to get injured, and that you're keeping up and you're working with a weight that's challenging for you, because sometimes we may want to, well, I may want to slack sometimes. So they call me out and they hold me accountable, and it's just a great place to be, and I love it. And I know that for me, it's going to be forever. I can't stop working out because I know that how fast my body will deteriorate if I stop working out. So I love it there, and I think everybody should go to O'Hare CrossFit.
I can honestly say, after 2 years at O'Hare CrossFit, I am much younger than I was 2 years ago. I'm 48 years old, going to be 49, and I'll tell you, there's not a day that goes by after the 2 years at O'Hare CrossFit that I don't feel like I'm still in my 30s, because I have more flexibility now than I think I've ever had in my life, unless I go back to high school, but nobody can go back that far.